we could have this conversation.
Big mistake.
No,
big
it was
mistake.
not a big. No,
I
it was
like
not a
it.
big mistake.
I'd rather you be giving him a hard time than me.
Collabs are being suppressed like crazy right now. Anytime we
I've
do
noticed
collabs,
folks, we might see the demise
horrible.
of Bam right now.
Welcome to this week's walkthrough, where every week we dive deep into the most trending topics. We check them off one by one with a rotating panel of some of the biggest brains in all of real estate. I am your co-host, Byron Lazine, along with Eric Simon, the broke agent. Joining us, surprisingly, for the very first time ever on the walkthrough, 2 first-time appearances, my co-host on The Real Word, Nicole White. She is a dominant force in Connecticut, basically running the #1 team in all of Connecticut, along with some other great leaders. The real #1 team, like the MLS #1, not the home snap. #1 team. Nicole has started incredible brands in Connecticut that involve social media and flipping homes. She's been featured on Fox News and built a house for St. Jude. Nicole White, welcome to the walkthrough, finally.
Thank you for inviting me. I think I had to actually ask to be invited, but
no, that's not true. Moving on to also his first time on the walkthrough, Matt Lionetti. You might have heard Matt at a conference speaking, maybe Inman Connect. He'll be speaking in New York in just a couple of weeks. Of course, you likely know Matt Lionetti from Instagram with all of his viral content. Matt Lionetti is with the agency in Toronto. Matt Lionetti, co-host with Eric of the Over Ask podcast. Welcome to the walkthrough.
Thank you. Thank you, Byron Lazine. This is the most research I've ever done in my life. I mean, I don't know how you get people on this podcast every week.
Trust me. It's a grind.
So I think this is very unique. In the comments, if you follow The Real Word, if you think The Real Word's better than the Over Ask, love to hear from you specifically. If you think Real Word is better than Over Ask, love to hear from you personally in the comments. Hit the thumbs up if you love both the podcasts, by the way. But what do you, before we jump into topic number 1, what do you guys think? I mean, we've done 250 episodes. You guys have done what? I mean, is there a little rivalry on BAM here? Do you think we have the better pod? I know you guys baked the cake with the Inman Innovator thing, but
yeah, we were crowned the award winners. Best video podcast in 2022. It is sitting right above Matt's shoulder. We are clearly the superior podcast.
Do you guys do that like weekly? Like, do you like shared custody? Like you swap it back and forth?
we
played rock, paper, scissors for it, didn't we, Matt? And I won, I think, both rounds. But I saw Matt's face and I was like, he's got to take home the trophy here.
I need that trophy. I mean, where's Eric?
So you have sole custody. Matt has sole custody.
Yeah.
Now we do, but we're going to swap it over next time we see each other.
Okay.
Exactly.
So
rivalry now. I mean, we got nonstop guests. Our content's all over the place. The Real Word is the same, consistent, incredible news. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's another news show. That's all.
I mean, I would say the Real Word's the CNN of real estate, and I would say Over Ask is and Over Ask is the Nelk boys of real estate. So I think we have a lot of fun. We've brought some real great guests. We've had Ryan Serhan, we've had Jordan Cohen, we've had Maya Vander, we've had Mauricio Umansky. I mean, the top of the cream of the crop we've had. I don't know what you have had, but it doesn't look like you've had that.
I was going to say it's more of the view of real estate.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Well,
all right. Let's go check off topic number 1. Nicole, I did pull some stats about, BAM from, BAM's release till now on.
Like views and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not
even
gonna
look at our YouTube numbers.
All right. Let us know in the comments. Hit the thumbs up if you're having fun with us. Topic number 1, 2022. Mover migration studies. You can find this on nowbam.com, of course. A little announcement about that coming later. So according to U-Haul's own records, more people moved to the southeast and the southwest of the USA, Matt. This is the United States of America that they did this study on. More than anywhere else in 2022, with Texas and Florida at the top of the list. North American Moving Services likewise found most Americans moving in 2022 migrated to warmer states with more affordable housing. All right, so let's show what are the top inbound states for 22, top outbound states. We'll get everybody's opinion on this, and then we'll get Matt's take on what's happening in Toronto, inbound, outbound overall for the North American neighbor that is Canada. So top inbound states for 2022, South Carolina coming in at the top spot, 66%, North Carolina, 64, Tennessee, 64% as well. Then Arizona and Florida, top outbound states, Illinois, California, Eric's great state, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. Eric, I'll go to you since your home state, Arizona, is in the top inbound. Your current state of California is in the top outbound.
Correct.
Do you agree? Yep. How does it make you feel? I know you're passionate about Arizona. You like, what are they called? The U of A. What are those?
The Arizona Wildcats.
The little Wildcats. You're very passionate about them.
Yeah, very passionate about the Wildcats. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. First off, I've been to South Carolina recently. Gorgeous state. We were there for the Boomtown Conference. Great golf, great weather, more affordable real estate, I think, than California. So that makes sense. Arizona was one of the most popular destinations during the pandemic. I wanted to move back there. It was more free. It was more open. Great weather too for 6 months of the year. So this makes complete sense. I've been trying to convince Ann to move back to Arizona because you could spend $1 million here and then be sitting in this pile of crap, right? This little 1,200 square foot thing. I got people hammering all day. I have people above me. I have dogs barking nonstop. It's a complete hellhole. Get me out of California. Get me to Arizona.
Wait,
completely agree with this.
You leave the dogs in the 12. You leave the dogs there. Do you have dogs?
Yeah,
he's got a dog.
Oh, so your dog's barking or your neighbor's dogs are barking?
No, just everyone. I just mean like the city noise and everything. Arizona is so much more open. It's more affordable. Although Phoenix during the pandemic boom has kind of come down a little bit market wise, I think, right? Because it was one of the hottest destinations.
Inventory's up, prices are down.
Yep.
I'm actually surprised California was second. I thought they would have been first for outbound.
Yeah.
Yeah, the headlines would definitely lead you to believe that. Illinois, the problem with Illinois, it's so overtaxed and it's cold.
Freezing.
You know, at least California's got some of the most intoxicating weather you'll ever be introduced to in your entire life. I love going to California. I love visiting Cali.
Yeah, it's a great place to visit, great weather, high taxes, way too expensive. And the homeless issue right now is absolutely ridiculous. So I would agree with this study. Let's get the hell out of California, including
Matt,
myself.
What's going on in Toronto? Inbound, outbound, Canada overall. I'm sitting in Naples, Florida right now. A lot of Canadians come down to Naples, Florida. A lot of that Chicago all the way, up. I don't know. Would that be northeast to Toronto? Northeast from Chicago?
Fun. Maybe we do a map. Do you know your states?
Maybe Haley could show the map. Anyways, a lot of Canadians here in Naples, Florida. A lot of people from Chicago, people moving in or out of Toronto.
I would say out. This is a Matt Lionetti exclusive statistic. I've done extensive research on this, but I would say out in terms of, so I live 45 minutes east of the city, and we had a huge boom over COVID, just about 40 minutes to about 2 hours east, because it's way more affordable out this way than the city. And over the pandemic, everyone was moving out of the city because it was too expensive to live there, and they were, they could work remotely. And a lot of people never actually went back to work. So they chose, they'd go get more land or a bigger house for a lot cheaper than they would in Toronto. But we have a ton of Canadians in general who head out to Florida or mainly Florida, I would say.
And so the North American Moving Services, the numbers we referenced first, according to U-Haul's Growth Index report, Texas and Florida were the top 2 migration states for one-way customers. So they're like, I'm loading up the U-Haul. I'm going one way. I'm never going back, and I'm leaving the U-Haul down there. California, Illinois, and New York were at the bottom for U-Haul's Growth Index report. Here's the thing. Both of these are linked up in the BAM article, the U-Haul report and the North American Moving Services report. It's broken down beautifully, obviously, in the article for you. There are so many different variables and ways to look and dissect this data. Pull from it what's positive about your community, or do the Jeremy Knight, or who did we talk about, Nicole, from San Antonio? Who was he was on we talked about on the Real Word.
That was doing YouTube, and he was taking the negatives and turning them into positives.
He was taking the negative headlines and doing shows on his YouTube in San Antonio. His name's escaping me. In the comments, help me out. We talked about him on the Real Word. Jeremy Knight helped us with some of that content as well. And Jeremy does a similar thing with his content on Austin, where he'll take the negative, he'll put it out there. He's not shying away from it. And that's the headline to get people to click the video. And then he's going to give you his 2 cents or why there are other stats that counteract that study. So great way to get your newsletter going, get your YouTube going for your content in your local market, because every single state is listed here somewhere on the list.
You know what else helps out with those stats, Byron? Keeping Current Matters.
Yes, I was hoping
the
you'd go
Walkthrough
there.
Podcast is presented by Keeping Current Matters, your go-to source for the insights and content you need to be the market expert. KCM is the best in the business at taking the latest housing data and curating it into powerful visuals and marketing content for video and social media that helps you look great and gives you tons of value for your clients and prospects. At a time when the market's changing and consumers are asking questions most agents don't know the answer to, KCM makes it easy to build your brand as the market expert. Check out trykcm.com/BAM so you can master the market and your marketing today. There's a link in the description.
By the way, before we move on to video,
I was thinking the same thing.
Holy crap. What was that?
It's an infomercial? Did you black out? What the hell
happened? I did. I just got possessed right there. Sorry about that, everyone.
He did. It was like, I've never heard that side before.
It'd be so funny if Keeping Current Matters was like, who the hell is that guy?
Right?
That's not what we told
That's
him
not
to
who
say.
we hired.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you want the real information every single month curated for you, go to kcm.com/BAM. Okay. But before we move on to the video topic, there is a study, Nicole. I thought you might find this interesting. This is the Fox Business headline. Study claims wealthy blue state is America's most affordable, beating states thousands are moving to. Interesting headline. Anyways, Connecticut, regarding affordability, the report indicates that Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New Jersey are the most affordable states, with Arizona, Nevada, and Florida being the least affordable. So it's a flip. It's a total flip on the migration study. People migrating for more affordability in housing.
Well, I think they're talking about blue states here. I think it's in blue states. Didn't it say blue states?
This particular report from Wallet Hub is saying when you consider all things, safety, crime, health, all these different things, that these states are actually more affordable. Very different way to dissect the data. And that's where I'm going with my last point of you can pull a lot of these different studies and find something to communicate with your database about the report. Is Connecticut feeling affordable right now, Nicole?
Well, I mean, again, if we're talking about migration, it's way more affordable than where a majority of the people were coming from, which was New York. I'm actually surprised that New Jersey is on there, though, too, because I think we're a lot more affordable than Jersey. But again, maybe Jersey was a little bit more affordable than being in the city, too. So it doesn't surprise me. No.
All right. Topic number 2. We've got the crew to handle this one. Overcoming video nerves. We've got a breakdown on 5 tips to gain confidence on camera. It's a BAM article. It's in the show notes. Let's start with the man speaking about it in a couple weeks in New York, Matt Lionetti. How do you avoid the nerves in front of the camera? Have you ever had nerves?
Do you avoid them?
Yes.
Or do you just...
Yes, I think I do.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I'm just wondering if you avoid them or do you just do it anyway, right?
No, you go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in my keynote, I show like my first video ever, and it is horrendous. People think I'm a natural. They think maybe I was an actor, comedian, or something like that, and I'm just a natural at all this. Not at all. I put a lot of reps into getting it to where it was. I became passionate about what I was talking about on the camera, and I think that built my confidence into now seeming like I'm a natural. And I think that's where a lot of the disconnect is. If you don't show the enthusiasm, no one else is going to connect with you. Enthusiasm sells always. And to have enthusiasm, you have to be enthusiastic about what you're actually talking about.
Right.
If you don't like talking about market stats, then don't talk about it on camera, because it's going to show that you don't like it.
That's right.
So find what you like and then share that on camera. That's how you're going to really connect and break down the barrier between you and your consumer.
How much, Matt, are you thinking about, or, do you ever, I'm more of a, one take. Nicole's shaking her head. We've done 255 episodes of The Real Word. Obviously it's a podcast, but we're not interviewing anybody. We're ripping through. We've never done a second take unless, somebody didn't have the camera on. Yeah. Like someone didn't press record, then you're forced to do, some kind of, there's been 2 or 3 instances like that. When you're creating this content that's done extremely well on Instagram, are you doing multiple takes, or how particular about the content are you? Because I think people don't do enough content because maybe they're too analytical of their own stuff.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I used to be super particular in every little thing. If I like slurred on a word or something was in my background that I didn't like, I would be like, oh, I got to redo the whole thing. And then in turn, a couple takes later, you lose, like I was saying before, that enthusiasm. And then the actual take isn't as good because you're burnt out from actually doing it. So I started leaning into almost the imperfections a little bit. Now I'll say something wrong on purpose. My wife always says realtor instead of realtor. That shit gets people so mad. And I know that. So, well, I lean into that because I want those comments. It's realtor, not realtor. That just feeds the algorithm. So why not feed into that a bit? When I had something in my background that I didn't like, the first time I went, okay, I'm just going to post it anyways. No one's going to notice. And they did notice, it was fine. It actually added to the video that people noticed some imperfection in the background. It was another conversation to start. So I think you just got to like strike while the iron's hot and do it. Know that it's not going to be, it can always be better. You're always going to find something that can be better. Once you have a take that you're happy with, put it out there, because you don't want to burn yourself out, and then you're going to end up with a worse product in the end.
So are you actually watching? You watch yourself? You watch all your videos? Yes.
Before I post them, especially the big production ones.
Well, obviously the production ones, but I'm just wondering if you're just doing like a one-off, like on your camera, like if you're rewatching it, or are you just like, okay, cool, like I got out what I wanted to say and I'm just posting it? No,
I rewatch them.
Okay.
I rewatch them for sure.
Eric's a rewatcher too.
I never watch any of my videos.
Oh, you have to. I mean, I think it helps you with the angle and what you're saying. And can I say this clearer? But I totally understand what Matt's saying, that if you burn yourself out doing the practice ones, you completely lose that enthusiasm. Byron, you could sit in front of a screen and just word vomit basically for hours at a time. Like I've seen you do courses, I've seen you do podcasts. It's a compliment. And like your brain works like that. That's incredible. When I do a course or I'm doing a video, I film it 5 or 6 times. Like when I'm doing these Marketing Mondays with Bobby, it's all about like, I need to get that take because I'm always trying to land in like a specific joke and I don't want to look dead behind the eyes. But another thing, like in this article, it's all about reps too. Like I've had insane nerves going up for speaking gigs, before podcasts, before everything. Like I basically avoided speaking gigs for the first 6 years of my career because the anxiety and my stomach leading up to it and post, honestly, it just wasn't worth the 15 minutes of, crap I was about to spew. But now that I've got a few under my belt and I feel way more comfortable on camera, it's actually coming through, I think. Like even my dad, who's hypercritical of everything that we're doing here on BAM, like, oh, you were actually good on the walkthrough today. Like you kind of look like you knew what you were doing. So
Eric's dad hates BAM, by the way. Yeah, to your point.
He hates BAM. He loves BAM.
To your point about the reps. Hey, I want to show that video. I did an Instagram, and then I'm going to bring Nicole in here because I've got a question for Nicole. But 2014, 2022, just play the first like 10 seconds.
Are you going to an open house today? This is the one you need to be at. 1 Esther Pond Lane, East Lyme. I'm here till 2. Come hang out. East Lyme. You want to see the video on this? Go on YouTube, Byron Lazine. Hope to see you here. Take care. Have a good weekend.
So you look like you're about to fight someone.
Right?
Like,
putting on like
calling people.
You sound like
you going to an open house today. You better be coming to mine.
This
Like
one,
you're like
yeah.
a mafioso guy.
your accent's so thick. What
Yeah.
happened to your voice?
It's Eric's point, reps, doing video over and over and over again, getting around the right type of people, the way they were thinking, reading more, studying more, like really actually caring about the product that I put out. Didn't hold me back as I built my career in 2012, 2013, 2014 from doing video. I knew Facebook was the way. That was a Facebook video, by the way, for me to break through. Everybody was on Facebook that was actually going to do something different than the 30, 35-year vet who was just all in our market was like newspaper listings, that type of thing. Believe it or not, newspaper is still like a big deal in these little towns in Connecticut. But yeah, I was terrible. That's why I had to wear the tie just to look somewhat reputable. You could argue that made me look even sleazier, Matt. But you know, that I had to go into somebody's house and give it every shot I could. But I did start paying attention to the way I was going to articulate. I'm never going to, you know, I didn't go to U of A like Eric. He went to USC. So, you know, I'm not going to be able to maybe articulate everything beautifully, but a lot better than I did in 2014 because I've done it over and over and over again. Nicole, you and I met because we were both producing video. We were two of the few agents back then producing video consistently on Facebook. You were doing a lot of live video. You hit live video on Facebook
at the
when
right
live
time.
Just started.
Just
you were
started.
Going, it live was new and you were hitting it.
Yeah, it didn't start like when I first started. But yes, yes.
But
it
as you're putting
everything.
out videos, live came. You really you grabbed onto Facebook Live more than most people. So Nicole started this thing called the House of Social Media Belt, where she would basically ask all the followers to vote, everybody following the story as she's flipping a house and picking the finishes to vote on those finishes. Hundreds of comments. I mean, this is like the BA account before the BA account, right?
Yeah.
Like 1,000 comments every single Monday, people voting A, B, or C. And she would do a video picking the winner.
Live. That
Facebook
was my
video.
live video. I did my live video was always on Thursdays. It was quick. It was maybe like 30 seconds to a minute long. Sometimes I would because again, I started getting people sponsoring me, like they were giving me products. So I would do like a live video sometimes at Bender, like, hey, I'm at Bender. Thank you so much for like the faucets.
Supply
like here's
store.
The winner. Yeah.
Right.
Or if I didn't have a supply place donating, I was highlighting the town. So I was like, hey, like I'm at the library here in town, like just announcing the winner. And the live videos were, I mean, that's when it like grew. It was like, holy shit. Like, what are all these people doing in the middle of the day? No, Facebook Live is absolutely how not just you and I met, but I built my business for sure.
So thousands of comments. You got on all the local, a lot of PR because of that. Hundreds and hundreds, 700 people would show up to these reveals of the home. Question for you is though, Nicole.
Yeah.
It was so new. It was so early. Did you have any nerves about putting out video when you started, and how'd you get over it?
So I probably on my original phone still have all of them. I probably recorded my first video at least 300 times. And it was something really simple like, hi, this is Nicole. Wait, the winning front door color is, and I was using, I don't even know if they still have it. I was using Videolicious to edit these videos, but I was terrible. I mean, I still am pretty terrible, which is why I don't watch my videos. Because the more I watched it, I was like, oh, I got to turn this way. And then, oh, the sun's here. And as the hours started ticking away, I had to then like move because I wanted to be in front of the house. So I was awful. I mean, I wasted days doing like 14-second videos at the very beginning. But again, it didn't stop me from putting them out. It just took me all day to do them. And then finally, as it, got busier, I didn't have the time to do it. So again, live helped because it made me do it, and it made me have to be comfortable because I didn't have a retake, which then consecutively made all the other videos a little bit easier to make too. But yeah, I was terrible. Multiple takes, like hundreds of takes. Yeah.
Eric, you did really no video in the beginning of the BA. I think your videos are fantastic. We're going to show a video today, which was a fantastic video. In the beginning, because you scripted, but in the very beginning, did you have any nerves on video?
100%. And we did actually do video. We did YouTube videos very early on. Wes Pinkston and myself, I came out with a real estate rap video. That was my first time actually with a legit camera in my face. And I was doing the rendition of this rap I had wrote. And I was horrified. We had paid actors and everything behind me. The entire thing cost thousands of dollars. And the camera guy and the director were like, what is the matter with this guy? He is mortified right now. He's giving no energy. I was like stone cold face, like trying to rap. Like I looked like such an idiot. I thought I was like Little Dicky or something. And that kind of showed me like, all right, I need to really figure this out before I hire someone to actually do this before. But we started doing YouTube videos, like the 5 apps every realtor should download, mistakes agents were making on Instagram very early on, Wes and myself on my couch. And I did find that doing video with someone else at the beginning is really helpful. And like, you know, as Matt and I have done the Over Ask podcast together, clubhouses together, speaking gigs together, and I wrote this in the blog, is it's helped me so much because it's like I have someone else here that's kind of a buffer. So I think that's a good message for people. Like if you're scared at the beginning, maybe have someone else on your team standing there as well. And then I also like in this article, the focus on the message, not yourself.
Yep.
When you're doing it in your phone, sometimes you're just looking at yourself and you get like imposter syndrome. You're like, what the hell am I doing? I'm literally filming a video. Even when we're doing this and I'm watching myself talk right now, I feel like I'm insane. So if you're just thinking about what you're saying more than looking at yourself, it's way more effective.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, I was gonna say we feel it too. We feel like you're insane too. Not just
yeah, of course. That was the point I was agreeing with. The only thing I'll add to this is I always like to think macro, where do I want to end up? And then come back down to the micro, right? Like come back down to, all right, if I want to end up here in 3 to 5 years, you know, what do I got to do this year? What do I got to do in 90 days? What do I got to do this month? What do I got to do this week? What do I got to do today? What can I control today? And if I know I really want this big thing out here, to me, this has worked for me, may not work for you. To me, it's always reduce the fear of what's in front of me today, because I'm not going to get there unless I get over whatever I got to get over today. And I got to put this out. I got to do these videos. I got to do. And when I got into real estate, I was freaking bankrupt. So it's like, I gotta get going here. I got to start making something. I got to start really improving day after day. And I need the business. I need to get some listings. I need to get to 50 listings as quickly as I possibly can. So it was all about putting out as much video, but I kept that vision that I was striving for, that I was moving towards in front of me. So I knew why I had to break through and just do it. You've got to, you know, take action. These are all things that you've heard before, nothing different, but sometimes we do need that reminder. You know, the people that take the most action are going to be the ones that get to that place they're trying to go to. So yeah, I'd encourage anybody that's got the fear in 2023. I just had a conversation with an agent about this. Like, you got to put video in. This is one thing you can't outsource. It's got to be you in the video. You can't outsource it. ChatGPT is not going to be able to do this for you. You have to be in videos in your social media.
Deep fakes. It's coming.
All right, we'll check that off. We'll go to this Hootsuite blog. Twitter notes explained how to go beyond 280 characters. So Twitter has been testing Twitter notes, a nifty feature, Eric, that lets writers publish long form content directly on the platform. So basically what Twitter wants is for people to stop putting articles on the link to these articles on Twitter. They want to keep everybody inside of Twitter. They have Spaces, which completely crushed Clubhouse. Thank God somebody crushed Clubhouse, right? They want to keep you inside of the app of Twitter. So they've got Spaces. They're going to be doing long form video, and now they're going to be producing Twitter notes. So you just put your articles there. Maybe not a good thing for BAM. Eric, your thoughts on what Twitter's doing?
Up to 2,500 words. So straight essays you could upload to this. I think it makes sense from every platform, because every platform right now is trying to retain people on their platform. That's why we've seen, especially recently, Instagram story links just crushing engagement completely on your account, basically penalizing your account for 24, 48 hours after you even post that. Same with Facebook. Anytime you share an outside link to a blog or a YouTube video or something like that, it gets zero engagement despite your following. So it makes sense, because same thing with Twitter. You post a YouTube video to Twitter, gets no engagement. It makes sense. And I think it kind of shows agents, And Matt and I actually just had Tom Story on our podcast who was saying why agents should grow a following on Twitter as well, which we could get into. But Twitter is not something that should be ignored at this point. I think they're continuously making moves. I think they're going to have video first content coming too, whether they bring back something like Vine or whatever it is. But Twitter is making moves to be in the content game along with Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. So don't ignore it from a real estate perspective.
100%.
Twitter is going to grow to become the most powerful social platform. It'll overtake Instagram within 12 months. That's a prediction for 2023 for me. Go ahead, Matt.
I don't even have Twitter, and as I start looking at it more, I thought Eric made that noise.
No, that was me, because I have Twitter, but I don't use it at all.
I would never make a noise like that.
Okay. I don't even have Twitter, but the more I kind of have been pondering around and seeing like the moves they are making, it's the ultimate. And I say this to agents all the time, like, have an opinion. Too many agents are too passive on everything, and we're hired to have an opinion. And I feel like too many of us don't have an opinion, and Twitter to me is the ultimate place to have an opinion. And I think that's why I'm going to go there and show my opinion on like Grant Cardone and things like that. So I think it's going to be a great space for me to absolutely blow up. But just back to like Twitter not wanting to, put links to other sites on their platform. I mean, it's the same as agents, right? Like, we're not going to promote another agent on our page. Why would we do that? Hey, come, you should work with Byron because he's the best on my page. I'm never going to do that. So like, why would other platforms do that?
Matt, you'd love my quote tweet. So if you retweet somebody and then put context on top of it, I did one today on Grant Cardone. I was thinking about you. Grant Cardone tweeted today, "The American dream is not," all caps, "not home ownership." And so I quote tweeted him and I said, "It's also not building somebody else's equity." Right. So you could troll Grant all day long. I mean, you could just have a parody account. Parody accounts on Twitter do really well, by the way. Just trolling Grant.
Grant Cardone.
Exactly. You could just build, seriously, switch the C and the G. You could build such a big audience just as a reply guy. There's people that only do exclusively Twitter replies. So the second an account posts something, they troll something in the comments right away. That comment gets a ton of likes, shares, whatever, grows their audience. So I think Twitter is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I think a lot of platforms, including Instagram, are going to keep showing us from an engagement perspective that anytime you publish links, they're going to crush your engagement. So if we're sharing a YouTube video now, I've been doing this on the Broke Agent account a couple of times. Now I'm just sharing the story and saying, head to the Now Bam YouTube channel. So that way they don't click the link, because otherwise it's just getting suppressed. And then they actually have to physically go to the YouTube channel, search it, and it's better for the views.
That's a great tactical tip that Eric just said. Asking people to go instead of giving them the link, whether you're on Instagram or any of these platforms, go to this YouTube channel, go to this article, where they have to now go to Google and search for that, or go to YouTube and search that. That is telling that platform now, like YouTube, a search engine, that people are searching this particular video, that it's very interesting. They're going to now feed it to more people. If they see an external link coming in, you're hurting yourself on, say, Instagram, where you're posting the external link. And you could be also hurting yourself on YouTube, where you're, being driven by an external link, because they might think that there's some kind of bot or something like that behind it. And so you might be getting suppressed in both platforms. There's a lot of science behind this. Eric, just like, bam, we haven't even talked about this with Twitter. We're going to have to start posting articles exclusively on Twitter.
I know. It's going to be like LinkedIn, how you have to kind of embed your blog posts on LinkedIn as opposed to just sharing an external link. You need way more context. That's what we're going to have to do on Twitter. It's never ending. I mean, I don't know how we're going to do this, but we're going to have to be uploading full-blown articles to Twitter.
Managing like 5 different blogs, the blog on Twitter, and then it has to be LinkedIn. Different content on Eric. How are we going to do this?
We're going to do it because we have to be on the present, and because there's going to be such an attention grab on Twitter. So we will successfully do it, but I'm not doing it.
In the comments, drop your Twitter handle if you're on there. If you're getting on Twitter, hit the thumbs up. Nicole, are you going to get on Twitter? Yes or no?
I mean, I have an account.
Can you? I can think of a brilliant way
She's on
right
Twitter.
now.
That's about
that people can use Twitter for their local business. let's go rapid fire. I've got a great idea just popped in my head for how an agent can help their local business by utilizing Twitter.
Okay.
Do you have any thoughts on it, Nicole? Do you have a way people can grow their local business on Twitter?
I don't, but I'm here. You have an idea. What is it?
You want me to go
I have
first?
a bunch of ideas.
Yeah.
Right. I've got a bunch as well, but I'm going to give you guys one that I just thought of. Okay.
Better be good. All right.
Every local politician is on Twitter. Right? Even if they, cried the blues, after Elon took over, I'm going to get off Twitter. None of them got off Twitter. They're all on Twitter because that's the only place people pay attention to them. Let's be real. Nobody's pay attention to a local politician on Instagram because 99% of these people are boring, left, right, or middle. They're all boring people. So they're on Twitter. Okay. You could take some of their tweets and retweet them and maybe correct them, maybe not support politically left or right, but correct them in a real estate fashion. Or if they say something great about housing, you could now screenshot that, use that in your Instagram. You could use that in your newsletter. You could now curate what's happening on Twitter with these local professionals, bring that to these local politicians, bring that to the Instagram world, bring that to your database and actually be the voice delivering what people are saying. Now, I would do both sides. I'd be very much down the middle as a real estate professional, but that's one way you could use Twitter to your advantage to get attention in your local marketplace and help serve more buyers, sellers, and investors.
That's a great way. And I want to get into my ways also, but you're going to have to listen to the Tom Story episode on Over Ask because he talks about how to use Twitter to get on your local news and how to reply and where to reply. It's one of the best 5-minute segments we've had on the Over Ask podcast.
When does that drop in, Eric?
That's dropping next Monday. So definitely tune into that. And then also what I've been doing on Twitter is just searching hashtag Zillow, hashtag real estate. There's so many funny tweets about Zillow and real estate that you could just pull a ton of information and content from, whether you're quote tweeting it, screenshotting it, or just using it to craft a tweet of your own, right? Like all these comedic tweets, I'll rip off and basically throw real estate at the front or back of it. And it's the same thing as those Twitters or those comedic tweets. So those are a couple examples right there, but tune into Over Ask with Tom Story. It's going to be epic.
If you're in a city like Toronto, there's a great local search feature on Twitter where you can really get into the conversation of people coming into Toronto, visiting, moving to Toronto. If you just search moving to Toronto on Twitter, you're going to find a bunch of people. Hey, I'm moving to Toronto. Any tips? You could be the one replying to all those, Matt. Any thoughts before we wrap this one up from Mr. Lionetti?
Yeah, not really. I don't know Twitter enough to actually really have an opinion. I was just going to, moving to Toronto. Hey, I'm moving to Toronto. I would just be like, don't.
That's your reply.
Yeah,
that's good. That's a great way to get clients. Nope.
Don't. And then you'll post a skit or something. They'll be like, all right, well, I'm forced to move to Toronto, so I'm calling this dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it's definitely, I have to get on it. I will get on it. I've had one in my music band days, and some guy, weirdly enough, screenshotted one of my tweets, from literally 12 years ago, and sent it to me on Instagram and was like, I want to get to know you a little bit more. And he was like a real estate agent.
Was he hitting on you?
And I'm not sure. But I was like, dude, literally could have went anywhere but Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
it's
an
very
insane way to reach out to someone who's pulling a 12-year-old tweet.
It's very odd. Yeah.
I don't know if this is the angle that on the Over Ask with the news, but I've met more CEOs and more people I would have never been able to get in touch with any other way by connecting with them on Twitter at a conference. Because LinkedIn messages is a complete disaster. Whoever created LinkedIn DMs, they should not be a developer. They should be in prison for that. It's a total.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
It's a total.
I was waiting for that. Should they be?
It is such a BAM
deceased?
comment. That person
should they be destroyed? Should they be locked up? That was the right way to go with that one.
I say that about my 2-year-old daughter all the time. I said we should imprison her.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's a fun,
Twitter's
fun
a great
thing
place
to
to actually, get people, reach out to people that you likely would never have an email response or a phone call or whatever with them. Okay. All right. Next, Eric, You've done such a great job explaining everything with BAM. Why don't we leave this one to you? What is a BAM creator? What's the next step from BAM contributors to now BAM creators? Matt Lionetti was just announced. Congrats, Matt.
You're looking at it. You're looking at it. Thank you.
2 BAM creators, Danny Deals, Matt Lionetti. They are exclusive BAM creators. They are creating content under the BAM platform. They get access to our media team, our writing team, our blogs, our video edits, everything. We produce the content. We help them with the content. They promote us. We promote them. And then also, Matt's going to come out with a bunch of new shows here coming up soon. So they have full reign of the BAM machine. So Matt, I don't know if you want to dive into a couple of shows you're coming up with, but these are right around the corner and these are going to be epic.
Yes, 2 shows in particular I'm very excited about. First one being a podcast style 15 to 20 minute show called Cold Calls. What we're going to do there, it's going to be co-hosted with my friend Paul Greenberg, who's in Toronto as well. It's going to be, in person, so it's going to look very nice. And it's going to be a couple different things. We're going to, have people call in or send in videos or voice memos of real estate horror stories, and we're going to react to them, kind of like the real estate love line. That was kind of cool. We're going to react to different celebrity home purchases. We're going to give you our real opinions on, is it nice? Is it not nice? Would we buy it? Did they spend too much? That kind of shit, And we're just going to react to a bunch of things, maybe throw in some Property Brothers videos to react to, because I have a bone to pick with them as well. Just anything that I don't like or I have a bone to pick with, I want to bring to the forefront of this show and really, So
this will be a Grant Cardone reaction show.
Yeah, we'll have some of that too. So it's going to be a lot of everything. Super, almost like a variety show, maybe more than a podcast, a variety show. And the second show I have, very excited about this. A lot of people don't know this about me, so this might be walk through breaking news. I love interior design. Okay. Maddie Mayhem Lionetti loves interior design. I know I'm a little rough around the edges, all that bullshit, but I listen to, I listen to Sarah Bareilles and like to stage homes. Okay. So that's what I like to do in my spare time. People don't know this. We're going to come out with a show with a catchy title called Reno Me This. And we're going to go to homes that have been recently renoed. We're going to get, the before pictures, the after pictures, how much the reno was, where they got all the shit. And it's going to be fun. I kind of want it to be almost like the Gordon Ramsay of real estate. I think a lot of real estate shows are very cookie cutter, especially on like HGTV and stuff. So I want to bring a little bit of edge to it and contrast beautiful architecture with my silly ass.
So we've talked about this behind the scenes, having other creators involved in that show with you. We've talked about Nicole's name has come up on that. Nicole's actually doing a couple of renovate. Nicole's a force to be reckoned with on interior design and
a force to be renoed with.
Yeah, there you go.
to be renoed with. She's doing 2 renovations right now. She's doing a what's called the Sarah Project in Connecticut. She's flipping a house for charity. All the money's going to charity. She can talk about that if she wants. But she's also renovating another house.
Another house.
A house I bought.
Yes.
And we've done flips, and Nicole's great at it. So here's one house right there that we could get on Reno Me This. Nicole, what is it? Is it gutted right now? The insurance just called me and wanted photos. I called the insurance agent. I said, "You're not getting photos of this house." Nicole's got the thing down to the studs. I don't know what.
Yeah, no, it's in pretty bad shape, but it has to look bad before it can look good. So yeah, no, it's all down to the studs.
So Matt, I gotta lock up Nicole's BAM creator deal, and then we can get her on Reno Me This. She's got just tons of talent. I don't even actually pick any of the finishes, Matt. I just say, Nicole,
No, he doesn't, which is even, I sometimes I'll reach out to his wife just to make sure that I'm doing what she wants, but she doesn't really give any opinions either. So it's a little scary, but
I will show up in the summer. It'll be beautiful. But by the way, it better be done soon, because
it'll be done.
Okay. All right.
It'll be done.
Nicole, we'll lock up your BAM creator deal. We'll get you on that. BAM creators, hit the link down below. It'll explain to you exactly what BAM creators is, and there's still an opportunity to be a BAM contributor. So BAM Creator is, as Eric pointed out, an exclusive content creator with BAM, but it's like hiring an entire marketing agency, writers and editors and designers at your back immediately. And obviously the BAM Broke Agent platform for distribution, it's like none other. Check it out down below. I want to, on the final topic here, because we've got a little bit of a BAM naming change. Everybody's been going by BAM. You may know it as Broke Agent Media. I think we should just play Eric's video. This maybe is one of Eric's best Instagram reels of all time. I think you did a fabulous job, Eric. I don't know why you didn't collab on the BA account, though. What was that all about?
I was up against the clock. I had the Overask podcast right afterwards. And then I filmed that right before. By the way, this video took me 45 minutes to film that you're about to see.
Well, that's
I just shared it to the Broke Agent account. It's not pathetic.
The collab would have taken you 2 seconds.
All right. We could have this conversation.
Big mistake.
No, it was not a big, no, it was not a big mistake.
I'd rather you be giving him a hard time than me.
Collabs are being suppressed like crazy right now. Anytime we do collabs,
folks, we might see the demise of BAM right now.
Yeah, exactly. This is it. Sorry, I'm not going to collab. I did the announcement in my Instagram story on the Broke Agent and shared it to that. That's going to get it far more views than if I did a collab and showed all these followers something that they don't give a crap about doing.
So you're out on collabs. Collabs are no good now.
No, I'm just saying collabs.
That's breaking news.
Collabs are definitely suppressed right now. Anyone that is collabing with people see this. It's showing it to an audience.
Except for my Eminem video.
Except for our collabs, Matt. Our collabs do well. But even you've seen, like, if I just post one of your videos, you'll get more followers than if I do a collab post. Because you're showing followers different content than they're used to seeing. So those followers are not going to engage with it, and they're less likely to share it.
Is that true, Matt? You'll pick up more followers on a share than a collab right now?
Absolutely. I'll pick up more followers if he just stories my video than actually collab.
Okay, so you're backing up what Eric's saying. All right, let's play Eric's video.
We changed the handles of Broke Agent Media to now BAM. Here's why. When we decided to start a media company, first thing was, what do we call this thing? Well, it stems from Broke Agent. Broke Agent has relative name recognition in the real estate industry. People know what it is. So let's just call it Broke Agent Media. BAM, that acronym, BAM. Then when we finally started posting content to Facebook and Instagram, we noticed a few angry commenters saying stuff like, why would I ever share anything from the Broke Agent? This isn't a reputable source. Why would my clients want to see something like this? I hate myself. Honestly, it's a great point. We want our content used and shared by agents where they could feel comfortable posting about it or sending it to their clients without the stigma of the word broke attached to it. So the handles are now BAM. The name of the media company is just BAM. Think of this as the full evolution from the Broke Agent brand. It's not just funny content. It's blogs, it's shows, it's podcasts, it's ebooks, it's marketing tips, it's webinars, it's events. Frankly, I'm losing my mind. There's so much content. So what does BAM stand for now? Is it Big Agent Media? Is it Best Agent Media? Is it Big Ass Media? The answer is all the above. It's just BAM. It encompasses a larger umbrella. I just want to say thank you to everyone that supported the Broke Agent brand, to BAM. I see you all. Appreciate you engaging with the content. Let me know in the comment. Fuck it. I'm done. BAM.
You couldn't have said it any better, Eric.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You really articulated it perfectly.
I hate myself.
And for those who have video nerves, green screen mode is the way to go, because you think that video took me 1 minute, 20 seconds. It did not. It took me 45 minutes of different takes, different backgrounds, making sure I have the right hook at the beginning, asking a funny question at the end. So this takes work to do a green screen video like that, but I'm glad you guys liked it. And I am pumped about the name change. It does remove the stigma of the word broke. If BAM creators, they want to put now BAM in their bio, now they don't have to put Broke Agent Media. If you want to share an article, it doesn't say brokeagentmedia.com. It says nowbam.com, because we're way more serious than just, a funny humor account. And we don't have to associate everything with broke anymore. So I think it's a genius brand move on our part. I'm pumped about it.
Yeah, it speaks to the talent in the, the back, the writers and the graphic designers and the video editors and the producers. We have a small, but some people would consider it big, but small in comparison to maybe other legacy media companies. But the talent is second to none, and the name change definitely reflects that. Go ahead, Matt.
Yes, no, I was just trying to pitch to Eric a mascot, a giant key with a face that's named Bam Bam.
Oh, I love that. That's perfect.
Walk around at conferences,
Exactly.
And,
Bam Bam the walking key.
Bam Bam the walking key.
That's gold. But the name, I love the name BAM. Like BAM, it's the whole story is so organic that BAM literally came as an acronym from Broke Agent Media. And we kept thinking, what do we call it now? Big Ass Media, Big Agent Media, Best Agent Media. We came up with all these names and realized that just BAM as itself is so much more encompassing and broad, because we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves just to agents either. Title, escrow, mortgage, sports, whatever. Like, we want this to become an enormous media company that isn't just to agents. So bam.
Eric, a lot of comments, people want Big Ass Media.
I love it. I love it. That could be the meaning behind it. So
yeah, Big Ass Media. I just love BAM in general, just because like it's like so engaging. There's so much engagement on like the articles and everything. It's just like bam in your face.
Yeah.
It just makes sense, you know.
Like bam, we're on the seam. It's also an onomatopoeia, Byron. I know you didn't attend the University of Southern California like myself, as you mentioned earlier, but an onomatopoeia.
I have been to the bungalow
word.
though.
You have been to the bungalow. Onomatopoeia is a word like ouch. No, I don't, or like pow or something that kind of sounds like the actual description of the word.
And fun fact, it also rhymes with wham.
That's
fantastic single from
Wham
the
Bam.
80s, Jitterbug. Yeah, I mean, there's just can't get any better. We can go all day about this name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we could always just fall back on Big Ass Media. Are you a Big Ass guy, Matt, or
a big ass guy? Yeah, sure. For the sake of this conversation, I'm a big ass guy.
I'm a big ass guy too, and a big ass guy. Get it?
All right, there you go.
Anyway.
That is the story behind the handle change. Now BAM, at Now BAM on Instagram, and the domain is nowbam.com. Easier email, by the way, shortened email. Nicole, you can relate to that, right?
We did. We just shortened our email. You must have just liked changing names. That must be like the 2023 gig.
Never again. Short, clean email. So if you're creating an email right now, how can it be the shortest and the cleanest possible? Now BAM. You can email Eric. info@nowbam. Send him an email.
Great.
Let him know you.
Here we go. Here we go. Bring on the emails. We need more contributors, so I welcome them.
In all seriousness, this will be the biggest ass media company of all time.
Hell yeah.
BAM is taking over the landscape. We are coming. We already have, when you talk video, social media, all these different components, we have the players. We have thank you, Matt, for believing in BAM as a BAM creator. Nicole signing her deal right after this as a BAM creator. We're going to be announcing BAM creators over the next 30 days. And honestly, Matt and Nicole, if it wasn't for the two of you and others, but specifically your belief in what we're doing and doing so many podcast shows with us, even before BAM created, this wouldn't even be a conversation. So thank both of you guys for believing in this vision and what BAM's all about.
Well, excited to be here. And in the words of Conor McGregor, we are not here to take part. We are here to take over.
That's right. And just want to echo on what Byron said, even though that was a great way to finish it. We should just finish it.
Yes, I know.
I thought we were going to end on the Conor McGregor.
I know. And I know, but
I know.
Like,
he
Matt,
always does this.
I know, but I got to say it. Your participation with, not participation, but over ask, all of our videos, the clubhouses, everything I said in that blog was so true. Like, without you, this Broke Agent brand, everything would not have evolved to this. So thank you. Thank you, of course, to Danny Deals, who isn't here. And, you guys are back and forth in our text conversations. Everything has just helped propel this brand in this industry. And you guys are like the first, real friends with Byron also, that it's like, I feel like someone else is wanting to create this content with me. So thank you.
Nicole, Dan thinks he should be in your seat right now.
Now?
He says,
he's on The Real Word?
Well, no, Dan O'Neill says, you're announcing the BAM creators and the handle.
I'm sorry. Does he want to pop on? I could pop out.
Oh no, he's not in the back room. He just thinks he should be sitting where you are. And he's the captain of BAM, but I overrode him on this. I said no.
Sorry, Dan. I didn't know. I just got the list of topics right before. So
yeah.
That's how we operate.
Well, you know what? I appreciate the kind words. And in the words of Conor McGregor, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
There you go. That's your walkthrough.
Thank you.
Put Real Word in the comments. Over ask.
Over ask.
You guys.